Good morning, friends. A short time before, I had given a talk on living longer on a healthy diet and pills. And it was heard by far too many people, and I got far too many reviews on that. So, some of my dear friends who are too close to me, they suggest is there any other way of living longer besides healthy diet and pills? So this gives me a topic for today's talk. My friends, today I'll be taking you the yet another way of living longer, and that is making love to the last. Now this subject, while I was doing my research work, PhD, on HIV/AIDS in Indian Armed Forces, I read two great books. One was the Sigmund Freud's The Greatest World's Greatest, the psychoanalyst, his research work, and I went through the great Height reports on sexuality. So today I'm going to talk on what I read in the Height report, what I remember of the sexuality. This research, the Sherry Heights, she did basically over 3,000 people, men and women, spread all over the world. Interviewed them and talked about everything possible she could ask in a questionnaire form of their pleasures, pains, frustrations, likes, dislikes. And then comes this report. So today I'm going to talk to you people on living longer, making love to the last. Now, there are no clarity, very clearly defined borders between a youth, middle age, and old age. Some young men, women, they become middle aged in their 30s. Other remains young in their 50s, 60s, and some even late 70s also. Some become even important in their youth. And others, there are some others who continue to enjoy sex into their even 80s. Indeed, most people will agree that as long as you are capable of enjoying sex, my friend, you are young. When the sexual urge disappears, you are simply become old. That's what the Sherry Heights report says, confirmed by the friend Sigmund Freud. Men, remember, men, they say, further goes on, the men are more obsessed with proving their potency than women, and when their the natural impulses begin to diminish. Now, they will try everything possible, and this modern days world, even when the reports was written, they were, even those days, far too many research work has been done, and the kinds of aphrodisiacs available to keep them going. Unfortunately, my friend, both of them says that despite so many sex rejuvenants available in modern world, the medical science has yet to invent or produce a reliable sex expedient without repercussion. There's always some kind of repercussion, and they agree the only option left, it's a good health and worldly success are more potent than anything else or any kusta. Henry Kissinger has very truthfully said And he was 100% right when he said that the power in the is the ultimate aphrodisiac. So therefore we find so many successful politicians, you see, in the worldwide are compulsive womanizers. Equally potent is the company of young and the vivacious. My friend, remember, sexual urges are generated by hormones secreted by the pituitary gland located beneath the brains, the testes, and in the case of women, in the ovaries. These age with the aging of their owners. Also in monogamous marriages, the absence of variety, which is indeed the spice of the life when it comes to sex and monotony, deprives both partners of the urge to engage in lovemaking. Statistics show that in marriages which have lasted more than 20 years, the sex urge has all but disappeared. Attempts to revive it with the same partner are not successful. But failure to do so does not impair matrimonial closeness. Remember, the men in 50s and 60s are still capable of sex at least once in a week. This is what the report has to say. The urge tapers off in the 70s and usually extinct in the 80s. My friend, men and women hanker after sex even after the natural urge has abated. The natural way to prolong sex urge are liaisons with younger people. Aging men are drawn towards girls younger than their daughters, and young girls respond to overtures of men who become their father figures. Likewise, older women, they take on younger lovers who see in them their mother mistresses. The relationship are utterly Freudian, remember. Utterly unnatural but utterly fulfilling for both partners, even if the sex in the relationship is not satisfactory. One sure way to impotence, my friend, is to ignore the presence of attractive members of the opposite sex. Men and women who take to religion and obsessed with religion, maybe in their middle age or later life, and spend more of the time in the company of their own age group, they age prematurely and lose the zest for living. For those, my friends, who are anxious to revive their sex life, these days there are hormone injections available which can revive the potency for 15 days or 30 days even. But, as I said, there are repercussions. Most pathetic are the cases of men who have the desire but are unable to perform. Worst, even for them, the medical science has found a stuff to inject into genitals to revive them. My friends, heavy drinking, a warning to my friends who drink, this is what the report has to say. Heavy drinking over many years can have disastrous effect surely on male as well as female potency. Alcohol may temporarily whip up the desire, but it will rob the drinker of the power to perform surely. There is no doubt about it. Fortunately, most drinking men in their late 70s, I would say, or even 80s, if given the choice, they will prefer drinking for women. There are many other observations made by this Sharia. The height report is available in the net. And even the Sigma and Fight research work is available in the net. I have just talked to you what I remember in this short time. There are many other observations. So far, so good. So, my friend, if you want to live longer, make sure that you make love to the last. Thank you very much.